call the regular meeting of the Seymour Municipal Airport Authority to order, Monday, August 18th, 2025. And we will begin with the roll call.
Brian Thompson,
Present.
Scott Davis.
Here.
Brandon Sunbury.
Here.
Ryan Williams.
Here.
Matt Lorenzo.
Here.
Colin Smith.
Here.
Morgan Bob. Here.
Thank you. We have two sets of minutes. We'll start with the last month, which actually was July the 15th, 2025.
I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the other minutes is the executive session, which was held Friday, August 15th, 2025.
I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
And is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Pass those on down to Ryan, please. I did sign the other one because they've got different colored paper.
Gotcha.
So I want to sign that one again for you, please. Okay, first item is the BFNS project updates, and you've got a printout of that. Paul, let you take over there.
Yeah, we finally got a good schedule, on the T-hanger delivery. It's been a little challenging on, getting our T-hangers because so many people have ordered hangers, with their IAJ money, so that's in place now. So most of this involves the T-hanger project. The first action item is a motion to approve the contractor's pay estimate number 4 in the amount of $22,641.66 to Dunlop. And that's for the T-hanger project, and that number 4, is basically takes them up to get the building deposit paid. So you'll have, paid basically $116,211.04 on the building. The total building cost is $322,808. So this is just the deposit to get the steel to ship. And then, you also are paying, a section of the mobilization for the construction work, $47,000 so far. That's what has been paid. So your previous payments to date were $133,000, so that gives you $22,641.66 is due today. And you should start seeing some real activity here now, where they're gonna spool up in the next month.
Okay, because what they said, the 19th, was that?
They start tomorrow.
Start tomorrow.
Yeah, they did provide a new, schedule. I sent that as well, but to give you an idea, the site work starts August 19th. Most of the paving mobilization will be after Memorial, but they're looking for the building foundations in building foundations and apron from September 9th through October 6th. Building slabs and apron October 7th through October 20th. The asphalt binder, which that's done by All-Star, not by Dunlop, but the asphalt binder is gonna go in October 21st through November 10th. And they're just putting that first layer of asphalt in, so they got a good base to work off of. The building should show up, December 1st, the first week of December there. They're gonna work, through December and into January, with the doors being hung the last week of January, first week of February. Electrical then in January, February, and then the asphalt unfortunately has to wait until around April 1st. They've got April 6th on here, until the temperatures are back up warm enough to put the final surface on. So they're estimating around an April 10th occupancy, if you wait till the surface asphalt's in there. It might be a possibility, if the building's all up, you might be able to use it without the surface, but we can make that decision when you get there.
Sure. So we need a motion on that progress estimate 4.
I move we approve contractor's progress estimate number 4.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Okay.
carries.
Very good. The next two motions, kind of go hand in hand. One is a notice to proceed to Dunlop, and one is a notice to proceed to All-Star. And those would both be effective August 19th. And, the reason we like to have these in place is for, State Board of Accounts on the contract and so forth, in case Matt ever has to take any action on enforcing the contract times or anything like that. Then we've got this in place, and the State Board of Accounts also likes to see it in the record, as approved by the board, so.
We certainly want that, correct. So I will accept a motion to issue notice to proceed to Dunlap and to All-Star, might as well do them. I know we can't do them together, they're the same project.
Is that all right with the attorney that we do them both together?
He's not.
I move that, we open the public consultation for the,
No,
oh, which one,
don't
I'm
need to
sorry.
do that one, the notice to proceed, the,
Good.
yeah,
We probably got a different.
you got the old agenda, there's that.
Oh, okay, I was looking at, okay,
So we're doing,
all right, well,
we had to update that.
Okay.
Sorry, I changed it on you.
Those
Yeah.
next two items.
okay, so you wanna do both the next,
Yeah.
except the execute fiscal year, okay. I move that we do the notice to proceed for All-Star Paving and the motion to accept electronic,
No, to proceed for Dunlap,
hold on.
All-Star and Dunlap,
Okay,
we'll keep on that.
all right, cause we did, so we already have done the first one for Dunlop, this is the second one for Dunlop.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I move that we issue, we approve the issue to proceed for Dunlop and All-Star Paving as presented.
Very good. For a second. So this is just to verify that we did it, that we're accepting the project to proceed. We've accepted their bids, just another step, so the, State Board of Accounts will be satisfied with us, understanding what we're doing. Okay, I'll call for vote, everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Okay, the next one is, this one, because this grant might come in before your next board meeting, this is, to accept both your FAAIP grant and your FAIIJA grant. We're getting right down to the end of the fiscal year. As a matter of fact, we're getting a little uncomfortable on some of these. They have been basically, for example, the T-hanger, the application was submitted on June 3rd. And then the FA programmed it, confirmed programming on August 5th earlier. So we're just waiting on basically the Office of Secretary of Transportation to release it back to the Chicago District Office to get that grant. But we are getting right down to the end of the fiscal year here. It needs to be issued by September 30th. And then the same thing on the normal AIP, which is the, basically the discretionary grant for the 1432 project. And, we've confirmed, that one was programmed on July 10th. The application was submitted on June 16th. It was programmed by FA on July 10th. So we're just waiting the announcement from the Office of Secretary of Transportation. And, so these should be any day. But this motion is to go ahead and allow, Brian to execute the grant electronically, and then it goes over to Matt, typically on this, and it's all electronic. But there will not be a lot of time, because we're so close to the end of the year. It's probably like a 24 or 48 hour return, so don't leave town.
Okay, yeah. Harvest is coming, so I won't be doing that.
Okay.
So when the FAA says it's programmed, is there a definition of what that means?
Yeah, program means they put it all into their program, into their computer system at the local, the Chicago office. And it's gone up through the region and then to the headquarters. Program means it's basically loaded in the checkbook, they've got the money lined up, as far as their budgets go. And then as so it's ready to be issued as a grant.
Okay.
So it doesn't get issued until it goes up. The Office of Secretary of Transportation has to okay all the grants.
Mhm.
There's 5,000 eligible airports in the country. It's a very small office, so they're just churning through them.
Okay.
And then, as soon as that comes out, usually your legislators are notified and then you're notified the next day.
Okay, well, we'll be on standby for that. So we need a motion to accept that, when it does finally come through, so we can proceed, on schedule.
So that is the electronically executed fiscal year.
That's the last one.
I move that we do the electronically executed paperwork for the fiscal year.
Very good. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, just FYI for the board on a couple of other items, the land release that we have going on, for the industrial park. If you'll recall, back in June, we started, or actually last September, we started, inquiring on releasing the additional yellow triangle on that board behind Brian there. It is going through the processes. My last inquiry was August 12th, and Riley actually responded on August 15th, Friday, saying that, they are working on it. So it's at least a response. The last two inquiries went unresponded, so this one, we got a
Okay.
response back, so
Okay.
that's good. And then, the next item on the BFS was that disadvantaged business enterprise, and I did change the agenda a little bit because we got some feedback from the FAA that, they might be tweaking those policies around a little bit. So technically, we're supposed to have an approved goal going by October 1st, which is the start of the next fiscal year, to be eligible for a grant in the next year. So we would typically have you take action on this and then the September meeting ratify it. But they told us to hold on that, so we are in a holding pattern. I'm not sure if we'll have something next month or what we'll be told to do, but, in case those that have been on the board a while, Scott and Brian particularly, know that this is something we kind of do every September. Don't get worked up, we're in a holding pattern there. And then, I did include the comparison of the capital improvement plan on what the FAA had in mind and what you all submitted, just for your information. You're welcome to take a look at it. We are coming up on CIP season. We'll start working on that in October. They're due December 1st, and there may be some, capital improvement meetings again. I know last year you guys came up in that one.
And in your packet, what he's talking about in your packet is that chart with, or the spreadsheet with the bluish line up through the middle of it that shows that information, right, Paul? Is that what you're
Yes,
talking
that's
about?
correct.
So if you wanna see, it shows the entitlement funds, the discretionary funds, matching funds for local and state, so that's all on there, plus description of the project at the end there.
Yeah.
So you guys can look at that, it's kind of small print, it takes glasses to see it, but
Yep, top of the line is what you requested, top of the blue line. Below the blue line is what they have, basically planned for. So you can see, you requested 8.8 million, they planned for 7 million. That's really not bad, that's a pretty good retention of what you've requested in comparison to other airports right now. So,
good to hear.
yeah, and then, they've got basically this rehab project, and then your T-hangers on your IAG, and then they've got you transitioning to this wildlife fence, at least up in the first phase around the terminal, area. And then the lighting on 1432, and then another phase of fence, and then that's what the lighting design on the fence on, or the 1432 lighting design, and then the construction of the 1432 lighting would be in 2030. So that's slightly different than what we had requested. We had your lighting construction going in 29 with rehab of the terminal apron in 2030. So it looks like based on their cash flow, they're pushing the apron out a year. So I would expect to see theirs in 2031 when we submit this year. You'll probably see that a little longer.
Come back up. And then a lot of it too, the difference between us and their amount, bottom line, 700,000 of that is the difference in the cost of the, runway rehab, the 1432.
Yes, and that's not uncommon. They often will reduce the cost of the project, and it's kind of it's like, everything. They're given a programming target, and they only have so many dollars to program projects in there. But once the projects are on the list, they can compete for more money. But if the project isn't on the list at all, it can't compete at all. So they kind of go across and purposely give everybody's projects a haircut to make it so they can fit more projects in, knowing that some of the projects may encounter problems or fall off, or if bids just come in really well, they wanna make sure they have plenty of projects to maximize the money. So they purposely reduce the cost of the projects so that they can get them on the list, knowing that they're gonna, whatever the bid amount is what they're gonna ask for. It might be slightly lower, it might be slightly higher than what they have on there.
Or like our project 1432, quite a bit lower.
Quite a bit lower.
Means they can fill it in, not some other project.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, you guys can look over that later and see what that's telling you, but that's the story behind that page. Okay, thanks, Paul.
Thank you for your time.
Any other questions for Paul? Board? Okay, next on the agenda is the fuel fund.
So today there's $357,496.07.
Now you'll notice that's a decrease, it's been growing for years, and that's because we're working on, they picked up that, we finished did we do the last payment on the fuel? We did the second out of,
We have one more when it's running and operational.
the second payment is out for that new Jet A tank, and it went to get rehabilitated and checked out and all that stuff, so those expenses are coming out of that fund. They'll give us that third tank or second tank of Jet A. Give us more opportunity, very good. And July financial reports.
Our income for the month was $78,035.27. Our expenses were $210,554.29. So our over-under was $132,519.02.
And Colin, you wanna talk about that a little bit since we're here? Might as well just do that now.
Absolutely. So based on cash on hand, from the start of the year, based on our expenses of last month, we're only under around 70. But based on our APVs and our invoices, 5 line items out of 112 that we had throughout the month accounted for 168 of that 210. 210 is completely out of the ordinary, based on, our spending here at the airport, because we wanna make sure that we're always on track. But we incorporated 3 fuel deliveries, so we are going through fuel pretty quickly. And then we also had our T Hangar A renovation in that expenditure.
And that was 64,000.
It was 64,000, just that one expenditure for Hangar Alpha. And then we also had to get a bat wing for our tractor, which accompanied for 21. All of those.
Those are the big changes this month that we had to cover, and the Batwing mower broke,
Mhm.
and the A hangar has been needing repairs for probably 20 years. Right, Larry?
Yeah.
So,
And it looks good.
so it's kinda like, great, so it's kinda like catching up time. So, we're gonna swallow this and know that it's gonna mean better returns in the future on that, so. We just wanna explain that, cause
Mhm.
the numbers kinda jump out at you when you look through the numbers this month and you go, whoops, that's what's going on. It's expenses to better our assets at the airport.
And I can give you guys,
On that too?
you what?
The new fuel tank, was that part of that too?
Yeah, that was part of, yes.
25 of it.
That was 25 as well.
Yeah, so, a lot of good upcoming improvements.
Right.
Yeah,
And I'd be happy to give you guys this full report with all the line items on it if you wanna, study it over, but, you know, that 210 is out of ordinary, so
Yeah.
might as well explain exactly the details on it.
alright, any other questions from you guys? Next item is the time turners.
So, Matt and I spoke beforehand, and we are finalized with their lease.
Okay.
So it should be ready to sign and everything's taken care of.
Okay.
There were some of the sections that stayed in there, based on, that report that you gave me. But some of that, based on the lease itself, stayed in there because, you know, it's just generic for leases.
Okay.
I'd be happy to meet with you and go over that, so, but it is taken care of, and, we'll go ahead and move forward with that.
Like, our main concern was some of the conditions of the building when we took it over in 2003 have
Mhm.
still never been technically repaired to building code. I
Okay,
mean, the windows and some other things that, you know, and the
Mhm.
way that I interpreted the lease when I reviewed it both times was they would be responsible for those to be put back in functional ability, even though when we took the building over, they were not functional. So that was our major concern.
in 2003,
Yeah,
okay, yes.
and none of them is, you know, like the windows, they've still not been repaired. That's why we covered them up.
Mhm.
And there's some plumbing issues that the fire department did to the kitchenette when they took that building over and they remodeled the one bathroom. They never connected the kitchenette back up, which we don't use.
Mhm.
So in those things, it's what we concerned with is the financial liability for those
Mhm.
if and when the lease ceases.
Yeah, and I do have your report in
Okay.
with it.
And
so-
I can look at that anytime, and, I'll bring, Gail couldn't be here tonight, the president of Time Turners, he had a meeting at the lodge, so, Masonic Lodge, so.
Okay, not a problem. Matt, do you have anything else, or just moving forward?
No, I mean, if that was the concerns, I mean, we talked about it, it said everything was fixed, so if that's something that needs to be addressed, I mean, that's up to the board.
As far as repairs, yeah, so you're not asking necessarily right now for all that to be fixed, but you're just saying you don't wanna be liable for that.
And we'll help fix it, we put the roof on the building when we took it over. I mean, the airport authority paid for all the metal, and we put the roof on, and Don Furlow at the time said we saved the airport authority $20,000 in labor. I don't know how true that is, but, cause the water used to pour through about 4 different places when we took the building over. That's why when you walk in the main area, that ceiling has a big hole in it, cause when it rained, you could easily fill up a swimming pool there, so.
I think the point is, they're not going to be liable for anything that isn't repaired if the lease ends, correct?
Yes,
Especially when
and
they
if-
do it that way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and if, you know, in the future, if stuff needs attention, you bring it to us, and we'll take them on one at a time.
Perfect.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Fuel farm report, we did a little bit of that, do you have anything more to add, Colin?
As previously stated, just on that, wanted to mention that the fuel farm has left, the airport property and is currently being rehabilitated.
Do you have an estimate?
They have not given us a time frame. I can't say in confidence.
Okay,
They just haven't given us I would say anywhere between, 2 weeks to a month and a half.
okay,
So, but I will advise on that.
okay, I'm gonna write down here 1 to 2 months.
The whole fuel farm?
Just that new fuel tank that we
Oh,
bought.
okay.
They call it a fuel, we're calling it a fuel farm, which this is the fuel farm.
Mhm.
We're calling it, cause it's kind of a standalone unit, I don't know if you saw it out there. It's different than these, and it's got kind of a covering, all the equipment and everything is kind of built into the tank instead of being separate from that tank.
I heard the fuel farm is gone, and I was like, we shipped the other tanks out too?
Yeah, right.
I don't
Sorry.
remember hearing about that.
Sorry.
All this
Yeah.
phraseology
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
it's hard, it's like programmed, it's programmed. Okay, good enough on that, employee insurance,
Brian, would you like to talk about that, or would you like I?
I'll start, you can clean up what I screw up. So we met with Dawn, City Hall, HR, and we've got things worked out to where we can get insurance for the employees here, health insurance, which we have never had before, or not this quality of insurance anyway.
Mhm.
So that'll be starting up soon, and, they're gonna work us in with their, what do you call it, their, group.
Mhm.
So we'll be group insured with them. So I think that'll work out well for everybody, employees and the airport.
That covered everything I was
I mean,
gonna
I
say
didn't
too.
mess of that.
Nope.
Oh,
I'm good.
amazing. So anyway,
Yeah, just sign out.
whatever you think. Okay, got signing of claims and receipts.
I move we have the signing of claims and receipts.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I missed one thing, cause I used my agenda instead of the new agenda.
Oh, that's okay, we can put it on miscellaneous if you like.
I'll jump back to it.
Okay.
So, I had a gentleman who has rented here before at the airport to process firewood. And they had stopped doing that business a couple years ago,
Mhm.
kinda decided he didn't wanna quit it and wanted to start back up doing it
Is that
again.
Darlage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vance and,
Vance, yeah.
and Denny Oaks. And they were asking me if
Isn't
there,
that
we had a spot.
The property that Glenn Sawyer took over, right?
Yes, right. So, he said, you have any other places, you know, we could just stage these logs, he's got logs coming that'll be cut and split, he's got that machine that does that. And so, I talked to Colin and we looked around out there a little bit and thought about this area where there used to be an old World War II hangar up by a hangar.
It's about the
There still
size, it's about the size of the blue hanger here.
Yeah, about the size of a
Just
blue
the
hangar here.
foundation.
Just a concrete slab,
Yeah.
nothing on it, no trees or nothing, and they could ingress, egress through this lane here and not be in any conflict with aviation side or the taxiway here, they can stay off of that and just work out of that. So give them concrete to work on, give them a place to stage the logs, if the airport board would see that to be something that would be willing to do, they're willing to pay a rent for it, a lease for that. So,
Excuse me.
thinking about that, you know, it's not being used for anything anyway, some references, hangars like the green hangar over there rents for around $900 a month. But that's got a roof, it's got utilities, it's got doors, it's got heat, everything. So we got a slab here, we gotta determine kind of what fair market value is for that, for renting that for a staging area. So, thinking, you know, somewhere between a couple $100 a month and $400 a month, something like, you know, somewhere in there, reasonable. You know, we wanna be fair to them, but we also need return for the airport. Of course, though, we're getting zero return for it right now, so everything, and there's gonna be no real cost to us. We don't have to put up barriers, we don't have to put up utilities, we don't have to clean it up before they come in, nothing.
250 to 300?
Brandon?
I don't have a problem with that. I don't know enough about the going rate, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, there is no going
It's
rate.
just concrete,
We
right?
could look at that rate and then kind of decide how much acreage it is, do some math on it, and then,
Yeah, don't overthink it though, cause it's like, what difference is all that time gonna make, you know?
that'll work.
You know, if it was a warehouse building, then we, you know, it'd be different, but we're just talking about concrete. I think just pick a number and,
Say right in the middle is 275.
I move.
okay, is there a second?
Second.
So I'm not gonna vote on this, cause Vance is a friend of mine, so, I don't know, do we need to have Scott in?
Probably.
Okay, we're gonna postpone that vote till later on,
Mhm.
till Scott comes back. We'll go through, I guess we go through that. Colin, you wanna go ahead and do your,
Yeah, so for our, up-to-date report, so our fuel farm and jet truck, so the fuel master and Wi-Fi has gotten work completed. We are competitive on the market, but based on the prices increase of fuel, we might have to increase our prices as well. But like I said, we are staying extremely competitive on the market. For military, the Kentucky 123rd plans to conduct 2 operations in September. The U.S. Army, they have operations planned out for next year. They haven't contacted me for the current year, so just looking at operation dates for next year. The Indiana and Ohio National Guards completed operations. So, and then they also plan to conduct 2 operations in September as well. The aviation update, so the Aviation Indiana Conference quarterly is this week, and I will add a report after the completion for next month's board meeting.
Where's that held?
That will be in Auburn, Indiana this year.
You've got a long ways to go.
It's 4 hours north.
Now,
So-
will you stay up there a day or two and?
Just a single night. I'll, be here throughout the day on Wednesday, go up after work on Wednesday evening, and then, come back Thursday.
Okay, and we have travel in the budget, don't we? Okay.
Yes. And then, they actually had a hotel reservation
Okay.
planned
On the block.
for all the
Mhm.
airports that couldn't come the day of.
Mhm.
It was starting at 8 AM.
Now, do they do this in different locations throughout the state then?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's not always up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Paul can advise for that too. They have quarterlies in different locations every single year, and then also the annual conferences are in different
Okay.
places of Indiana.
Good, good.
Should hit you right with Travis.
Right? I agree.
See if he'll come by and pick you up.
Yeah. So, then maintenance, so the current projects, the fuel farm setup was complete. We are currently working on the bird control for the blue hanger still. Ordering the brushes, getting those in, and then putting up the, bird protectant with the scissor lift. Then crack sealing and pop-up, we are planning, which priorities we are needing to, hit first, and then planning, a certain stage when it's, adequate for the weather.
Now you're gonna use city equipment for that, is that right?
We're hoping to partner with the city on the equipment. If not, we do have contacts that have the type of equipment that we need. Yes.
Excuse me, when do you expect to do that, please?
So, we're still in the planning, but we're not planning on crack sealing, anymore out of this fiscal year. Crack sealing will be next year, and then the pop-ups, will most likely be done within, either before winter season or after winter season of this coming year. And so,
So you're gonna mill them down first before you do the crack seal?
correct.
So they'll mill that with, where do you get that new equipment from?
So that, the milling equipment could come from the city.
Okay.
Or the milling equipment could come from Sealmaster. And Sealmaster, we get, significant discounts based on our bulk orders with the material that we use for crack sealing. So we can get that, moving forward. Weed spraying was completed, and, airport marker cleaning, we have completed that as well. And then, also the airport sign cleaning was completed.
So the airport marker cleaning, that's the markings on the runways, right? Is that the markings on the numbers on the
That
runways?
would be the tetrahedron. So it's visibility.
Okay, so did it do what you thought it would do?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so the tetrahedron, cleaned off that to increase the visibility of that. Now our airport runway markers, we're still up to code for the NDOT inspection
Cause
that
we talked about,
just occurred.
you talked about doing them too, I think, right?
Yeah, those had been completed
Okay.
already, about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And, we passed our NDOT inspection, a few months ago, so those are still perfect.
And soon the 1432s will be new.
That is correct, yes,
Okay.
and that is the end of the up-to-date.
Colin, did I miss, what did you say about Oshkosh? Or
Oh, I went
You do
straight
like-
through,
You do
Yeah.
like me.
Right.
It's contagious, I'm sorry about that.
right?
You skipped something.
The airport project, so the airport gates, we have received quotes for potential routes that we can take. I can advise those via email, since I received those via email. And then Oshkosh, the event went perfectly, and, I heard that we had a great turnout, so.
What kind of numbers, just estimate you think you had?
Made 82 sandwiches.
And not all pilots actually ate sandwiches, so
Okay. Think there was more or less than last year coming through, or?
that's a lot of sandwiches.
Were they ham?
And turkey.
What do you think it compares to last year? Just,
I thought it was up from last year,
Mhm.
but down from the year before from, what I've been told,
okay.
from what I heard.
Yeah, I think it was, our first year was heavy traffic, and then we dipped, and then we came back up.
I noticed that one, next year we wanna get on, there's another website I checked, I can't remember which one it was, that didn't have our, it was EAA or AOPA, one of the two didn't have our specials on it.
Mm.
So we'll work on that next year to make sure we kinda hit everything. I can't remember, you make note of which ones you have, and then just put in your notes to contact me, and I'll research back and find out which one it was that we missed on.
Okay.
I think it was EAA's website itself, Airventure's website, that I didn't see it.
Okay.
So, okay,
Because I
good
know
enough.
you contacted me about one site that was supposed to be a flip from last year's, I was already on it, and then
It didn't flip.
it wasn't on there, so he caught one,
Okay.
and we added to that website as well.
Which one was that, Larry? Do you
I'm
remember?
embarrassed to say, I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine, I just wanted, if it was the same one that I missed or whatever. Okay, no problem,
But Larry did have a good catch,
okay,
so.
yeah, helps, it helps. Any questions for Colin? We're gonna jump back on the agenda, Scott, since you're here now,
Okay.
and talk about, the, firewood cutting crew. We kinda talked about what kind of rate to have per month, this will be a per month fee. Did you hear me say that, like the hanger,
Yeah.
that size is $900? We thought 250 to 300, somewhere in that range a month, for, since there's no real cost to the airport.
I'd say 250 would probably be it.
Or we had a motion did someone do one 275 or not?
That was just right in the middle.
We said, oh, we just split the difference.
Yeah.
275 sounds good.
Okay. We'll take a motion and vote on
I
that.
move that we charge them $275 a month for the log storage.
Okay, and we'll see if that's satisfactory or not for them.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, I did claim procedures, we did Colin, any board issues? Morgan, what did we miss?
I just wanna thank Marty for all his help, he's not here tonight, but he's got my fuel master up and going, we got the Wi-Fi just about fixed. It's been a lot of time.
He's been doing a lot of IT work.
Working together.
Mhm.
Thanks. Okay, Matt, did we mess anything up? The big stuff, I mean, that one.
Probably.
Nothing big.
I'll wait, he'll wait for the, notice of tort claim.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Larry, anything from you?
Nothing real big, but just a year or so ago, I was before this group and asked you guys to approve some signs that the museum wanted to put up, I think 13 months ago. There's a sign up, one, at the traffic circle at O'Brien, if you're get on at, coming here from like Walmart, you go to the first traffic circle,
Okay.
there's a sign, I go, oh boy, those signs are up, no, just one. But at any rate, they're all done, I believe they'll put the other two up this week. We
Okay.
ran into a glitch, NDOT refused permission for us to put the sign up out on Route 50 that tells people to turn left, which is key, they don't turn, can't see
You're
the
gonna miss
ones,
the
I'll never
second one.
see the ones at the traffic circles. I work with city engineer, we appealed it Friday afternoon.
Okay,
I won't take any more of your time.
All right.
just thought we might mention that thing from over a year ago.
Keep on top of it. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I think that roundabout on Airport Road is the best looking one on the side of Mississippi. That star in the middle and.
Oh, yeah,
it's upscale.
without a doubt.
It does
I
kinda
think-
look like that.
I'd like to see
American
it,
Shield.
I'd like to see them banked this way instead of this way. When you take a vehicle around a circle, centrifugal force carries you out. You need, look at Bristol. Bristol is not banked this way.
So what you're saying is, so when you come into it, you're gonna go up and then down,
I'm talking
and then
about,
turn.
that's
He's
not the
thinking of
important part.
He's going laps.
The important part is the lap
He's
speed,
hot lapping.
Scott.
He just like too much
Just thinking
jam.
of grain trucks.
Scott, the important thing is the lap speed. That, the suspension. We are ready to
I
adjourn.
move to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Did you see?
Third.
The man who did it